How's everybody? Pete here at Spawn Fly Fish. Just wondering if you are as excited about coho season as we are. So tonight I have the opportunity to speak to a fly tying club. We're going to be discussing bee run coho, tying a couple flies and all that good stuff. But while I get ready, figured might as well turn on the camera and share some of it with you. So today we're going to tie a coho jig fly, and this one specifically for that sort of dirty off-color water. So grab your vise, grab your tools. Let's have some fun. Let's jump into this jig fly today. In the vise, we do have the Ahrex SA254 size 1. For the bead, we've got the Spawn slotted super bead. This one is fluorescent blue, so that's a 6.3 millimeter tungsten slotted bead. Heavy. Got 6 wraps, 0.025 in the back. And we're going to get all this cinched down with some 6/0 black. But by all means, this is, again, if you like bigger thread, 210, 200, 240 even, this is the time to shine. I'm just going to get all those weighted wire wraps secured so that the bead has no possible movement. Give ourselves a little indicator here in the back of where we want our tail to start. And that's a pretty good looking spot to me. We're going to get through this fly pretty quickly today. You have seen this fly tied, just not in this coloration. Again, we're looking for off-color water, maybe after a big rain or something like that. And the water isn't necessarily, super nasty, but it's not clear by any means. There's always that in-between sort of situation where pink isn't working for some reason on a given day. You need something else to throw. And this is just one of those options I like to have in my box. Blue and purple is what we're going to go for. So here we have a lot of the blue already highlighted. This thing's so good, even the ambulance is worried about the fish. There we go. Back in biz. So I'm going to veil some rubber legs at this point just to accent and break up the monotony again of that blue, but it's also going to just give an insane amount of movement. So these are crazy legs. These are the black purple tipped. So there's little glitter in these legs, blue glitter, and the core or middle portion is black, and then the tips are purple. Pretty cool legs. I'm obsessed with all these fun legs that are on the market anymore. Like, if you can't find a leg to fit the fly you're tying, wow, congratulations, because you've come up with something pretty unique. So I'm just going to split these, and I've got four legs tied in, but since I veiled them, I'll put 4 on your side, and then I'm going to put the other 4 on my side. That's all. Nothing crazy. There we go. Legs are tied in. That little step right there, to me, everybody, oh, is there a secret? And of course, there are no such thing as secrets in fishing and all that. But there are things that work sometimes that, for whatever reason, you're the one that finds it. For me, in the way I fish, for whatever reason, having these legs come off with the tail produces fish. So I'm going to keep doing it until it doesn't. Let's get our body going. Got some two-tone crosscut rabbit. You see I've got that cleaned out spot for a tie in there. I'm going to get that tied in. And for our rabbit today, we are using, I want to make sure I tell you the right one, the bright purple baby blue. So again, two-toned crosscut rabbit strip. Now I'm going to come in with some UV polar chenille. This one's silver. So that PCUV is the skew you're looking for on that. There's, sometimes difficult because there's polar chenille, there's polar reflective chenille, and UV polar chenille. They're all slightly unique and different. They don't all play the same, but they all do offer you another fun way of adding flash and flavor to your flies. So I'm going to stack that core of the chenille so that it lays right on the leather of the rabbit. I'm going to get my fingertips wet and sort of marry together the fibers coming off of our chenille with the fibers coming off of the crosscut rabbit strip. And now I'm going to use touching wraps and simply make our way all the way to the front of our jig fly. So at this point, you're essentially just wrapping a bunny leech. Very simple, except this one has just got, you know, a couple little extra bells and or whistles, and it's not a time consumer. It's, you know, nothing crazy. You don't have to get out a sketchbook and do math. This is pretty simple. So keep that in mind. You can change this up very, very easily. Simply use a different color bead and or rabbit and or flash or whatever, and it changes everything. So, you know, if you don't have one material, is it the end of the world? Nope. Do you have to wait till you have said material? Nope. Chances are you do have something that will sub in just fine. But for now, let's finish this guy off. And this is our collar. So I've got 2 marabou feathers. I've got purple, and underneath I've got a fluorescent blue. And these are simply blood quill marabou feathers, non-spay, just regular old blood quill marabou. And get those tied in. I don't know, you know, this is again one of those things that just makes me happy on the vise are these 2-tone collars, because if you can do that, again, you know, we just talked about changing one element changes the whole look, and it does. But if you can put 2 colors into a collar or into a body, you just exponentially leading yourself to more options. So it's not for everybody, I understand. But for those of you who enjoy it, just a slight challenge maybe, this is a fun way to just vastly increase your repertoire and your offerings in your fly box. And, you know, it doesn't sound like much, but every once in a while there's a day where, for whatever reason, nothing's working. You get into your box and you're just about to give up, and you're like, oh, well, let's try this. Haven't tested this guy. And you find a color scheme that you just would never have imagined is the magic ticket. I don't know how that looks for you. All I'm saying is I enjoy that part of tying and fishing. So, you know, of course it's nice when we know, given today's conditions, this fly should be the hot ticket, and it works great. That's always fun. But a lot of times you have to work a little bit at it. And so I like options at that point. That's all I'm saying. Don't restrict yourself. If you think it's a good idea and would catch fish, there's no police out there that are going to stop you from tying a fly to see if it works. At least not that I know of. So until that time, the point is, please be creative on the vise. Have some fun. Get all that goodness combed out so that none of those fibers are trapped, and then we can make a very clean thread neck here. And you see how much pop that blue is going to produce, especially as it gets into that murky colored water. This stays blue, the purple stays purple. It's just going to be glowing in it, you know, for lack of a better term. And that's what we want. Little wet fingertips, control that marabou. And we get our nice clean whip finishes here. First one, let's go ahead and pop in another one. I'm so excited for coho season. I know a lot of you are too. Got a little bit of potential rain in our forecast for the weekend. I'm not going to say that the forecast has been wrong for the last 3 weeks, but we'll see if this one's right. Got some Loon hardhead clear. Just going to seal off all of that thread and make sure you are cementing your flies. Please don't go to all that effort and trouble making something beautiful and then you forget to do the easiest thing in the world, which is solidify with a little bit of cement and just protect all that work. Nothing to it. Just a little bit more to cover on that thread. And that is yummy. And there you have it, folks. A very tasty, dirty water, blue and purple, cannot miss Coho Jig Fly. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys tie a bunch of these and go fishing for yourselves. But I have enjoyed our time as always. So if you do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe. We will see you all on the water.